You're back again, another review. I want to cycle through the reviews through like music, zine, books, films, so that it doesn't become just one thing. And also, I really wanted to cover one of my favorite albums that I purchased from Bandcamp, and I'm positive this album will be in my top 10 for 2021. Easy assumption given that we're almost into November already, but Halloween is coming first. That is so good. I'm so relieved. Anyways, the album I want to talk about is RBMK's Unity. I am in love with this album. No, I'm supposed to wait to the end to tell you what I think, but let's just start it off. I love this album. I first became aware of RBMK via Tommy Creep's wonderful zine, Black Panels Only. You know that's going to be reviewed very shortly. Yet in the first issue, RBMK talked about the layout. Like in the zine, Tommy Creep will have people submit pictures of the modular layouts and what equipment they're using. RBMK made a point that instead of subtractive synthesis, which is the primary way that most people use synthesis nowadays, he concentrated on additive synthesis, specifically with very simple sine waves, combining them, folding them, manipulating them to create complex sounds instead of the other way around. And this immediately caught my eye because most people, when they're creating a patch, will automatically go for like a saw wave or a square wave, something that gives them a lot of gnarl to work with. Sine waves are very gentle and pure tones, and I personally love them, so that piqued my interest. So I went, checked out his Bandcamp page, pressed play, and immediately fell in love. So I ordered the tape before that first song was even done. And there's multiple formats that are still available. 2 different colored cassette tapes, digital, of course, and then there is a bonus package which includes a small Concertina folded photo book. And you know what a sucker I am for great packaging and bundle deals. So that's absolutely the one that I grabbed. So let's get the design stuff out of the way, and I'll show you up close what that actually looks like and how great that is, and then we'll come back and talk about it. So let's go to the design right now. Any of you that I correspond with regularly knows how much I love wax seals. So that was a good first touch when I first saw the package. And then this is very nice paper stock that's used, very heavyweight. Feels great in the hand. Just wonderful. Now, included inside is the cassette and the Concertina photo book. Fairly standard clamshell on it. Lime green cassette. I like the fact that the labels are hand applied. I really like all that handmade feel to products when I get them. I don't know, you feel closer. I also included a sticker. How the sticker hasn't ended up on a sketchbook yet, I have no idea. And a very simple yet elegant layout on the cassette J card. Once again, I believe it's the same card stock that was used to wrap the whole collection within. And here you have the Concertina photo book. And within it, he writes about his use of additive synthesis to create the album. How he relates that to not only society at large, but our current environment of going through the pandemic lockdown. On the other side are pictures of brutalist architecture. I don't know what you call these in England. Here I would call them housing projects. And once again, he ties in this idea of additive synthesis with the effect of architecture upon people. All in all, incredibly satisfying package. Intellectually stimulating, if that doesn't sound too pretentious, and yeah, total winner all around. And back again. Now, of course, none of that wonderful design would matter if the music didn't hold up, and actually, Unity exceeds the expectations of that wonderful packaging. The very first song, A New Way of Doing Things, when it hit, I think a lot of us are very used to modular musicians sounding like they're in a Warren Subotnick cover band. I didn't even know I was going to say that. Now the idea of a Warren Subotnick cover band is kind of tickling my fancy, especially if they did it with traditional instruments. Anyways, as Burroughs says, I digress. I'll put a link to more Subotnick's work down in the description in case you don't know what it is and therefore don't get the joke. Probably not a good joke anyways. So let's go back to a new way of doing things. The first thing that hits you with this is this could easily be a shoegaze album. It works right up there with like Jesus and Mary Chain, but done with modular synthesis and a very refined use of modular synthesis. Because the first thing that hits you are these soaring leads that just have the crumbling edge of distortion that's just pure, it's just pure love. Because I never really bought into the ASMR thing until I discovered how to make oscillators purr, if that makes sense. Have you ever heard an oscillator just crumbling around the edges? It hits me. It's so good. And combined with these soaring leads is a very well thought out harmonic progression underlying those. And the overall feeling that you get would probably be a sense of triumphant melancholy. It just hit me right in the... It's so good. Then it goes into A Parting Gift, which is just reverb-soaked atmospherics. And the other thing that I noticed about this song, if you listen to, I believe it's on Skinny Puppy's, one of the early raps back and forth. Skinny Puppy in their early days, Kevin Key would take entire minute-long samples from movies, pitch them down, then play them on backing cassette tapes, so it just filled out the sound. And it kind of sets you off balance. Now, in that, when you listen to it, you can actually hear Kevin Key pressing the eject button, flipping the tape, putting it back in. And in a similar manner, RBMK uses a sample on here that you can't understand what it is. It's so pushed into the background, probably broken up with granular synthesis, where you take a sound and it's chopped into micro fragments and then those are manipulated. I think that may be what's going on, because he's very good at blending field recordings with these invoked electronics. And this sample just works in the background and fills out the sound. It just gives you this sense of lost nostalgia almost. The themes of this album are about interconnectedness and also the separation of human beings. And this just pulls that emotional feeling so well. Then we get to the third song, Chromatic Shift, where we're back into these soaring melodic leads. Really beautiful use of arpeggios. I mean, the arpeggiation on this is just amazing. Just love the way it went. And I won't break it down song by song because we don't have too long to go. But Atlas Drive will absolutely get you a speeding ticket. That is a very appropriately named song. So good. And then when you hit the final song, Fading Certainty, he just brings all of these elements that he's used in each of the preceding songs, and it just brings them all together. And it's just this emotional sense of grandeur. It gives you feelings of hope and loss at the same time. I mean, I don't really know how to describe this album. Definitely go over to the Bandcamp. Check it out. That's a wonderful thing. You can listen to the entire album multiple times. And I believe there's like 9 copies left of the one that I showed you with the photographic book and everything. And just as a sheer physical object, I can't recommend it highly enough. I mean, it's obvious that I love this album, but I can't wait for him to bring a second album out. It is truly amazing work. I really hope more people follow in this vein because hit me so perfectly. Anyways, that's it. Love you guys. Have a wonderful Halloween. I'm so looking forward to it. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.